So if you haven't seen it, Dr. Umar did an interview with the Daily Wrap-Up crew, and he is out here putting 1,000% of the blame for the failures of Black America on Black men. And while I agree that we are to shoulder some of that responsibility, I am also not going to agree with the pandering that he's doing and give the females some of this responsibility as well. But let's get into some of the video right now.
I think obviously we spoke about the gender wars, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So,
that's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most Black women know they will never get a man. A Black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get.
See, to me, it sounds more like delusion than pain. Women will say they don't need a man because they don't actively want to work on themselves to be what that better man requires of them, right? They'd rather just say, I don't need a man and run around with the Pookies and Ray Rays, right, having sex. But it's the same thing like with Lizzo and big women who do the body positivity and God made me like this and love me like I am, don't body shame me. It's because they don't want to go and actually get in the gym to get healthier and get smaller. They could, but they don't want to, so they would rather just say, body positivity, I'm healthy just like I am. It's a form of delusion for a woman to be able to better herself, but she don't want to, so she'll just say, I don't need a man. You don't hear men saying, I don't need a woman, right? We'll say, I got to get myself together, I got to get my life together, got to get my chips up, because we know that's what's required to even deal with a woman.
I have two daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest will be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? So when a Black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
Listen, that 1 in 4 number is a choice that women are making. Look, Black folks die of heart disease, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and we die at an early age from it, right? Because we keep eating the way that we are eating. It's an active choice we're making. If we all chose to eat better, our life expectancy would extend. Women make a choice every day to keep operating in this city girl debaucherous way that society is pushing on them. They are actively making a choice to be less than wife material. And when men operate in the same debaucherous manner, it's like, why would he marry when he could have all the women that he wants and not have to step up to the level of a husband or family man to get that? And look at Dr. Umar. He didn't marry the 2 baby mothers of his 2 children. See, that was a choice. He talking about marriage and this, that, and other. He could have chose to make that 1 in 4 number go up by his actions, but he didn't choose that. Even if you do the right thing and get married and become a family man, if you pick the wrong woman, she can divorce you and take half your life because she really just wanted the Instagram wedding. She really just still want to be a city girl and get back to the streets with half your money. But men and women operating in what society is pushing is what's keeping those marriage numbers down.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to Black men with Black women. With white women.
With all women. You should only be with the Black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere else.
In Africa. Absolutely. So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like, if you feel
I tell sisters all the time, go to Africa. So I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with her sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married,
I'll take sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of Black men,
yes,
Black women. So
and what I also tell Black women, if you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to Black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but it's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us, though. Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The Black woman has had to hold down the Black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of Black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down.
Now, see, he just mentioned the mass incarceration of Black men by the government, knowing that they fully did this intentionally to break up the Black family But yet we don't get a pass for that. But he gives women a pass for talking to us crazy in this day and age because we were gone because of that whole. Now listen, we got to shoulder some of the responsibility here, because had black men not been doing something to get locked up, then maybe we don't give them the chance to throw away the key like they did on us and execute this mass incarceration. But I find it funny that he does not give Africans any of the blame. He tells women, oh, them Africans you ain't gonna talk to them like that. But do you not remember that the Africans, a lot of them, took part in selling us to the United States, to these white folk? So where's their blame in this whole thing? See, this is where he's starting to pander right here, because it's sounding like you just want to give them a pass to continue to talk to us or operate with black men in America any type of crazy way that they want to operate. Like, okay, we was gone, but okay, now we back. You got to change, baby. Africans ain't gonna take you talking like that, and I'm not either.
Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work, or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back, I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her.
It ain't that she can't do it, it's that she won't do it.
So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate.
First, I ain't going to let you play us like that, like we just the crumbs in the bottom of the toasters or something. You know how many hard-working dudes out here that are well-minded, making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, you know what I'm saying, about their business. Good, solid dudes, but you get overlooked because these chicks, they want scammers and dope boys that's making $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million a year. I can't fix that in her. And furthermore, there are Pookies and Ray Rays in every race, right? Across the world, you have higher class, middle class, and lower class. We just use the Pookie and Ray Ray terminology to describe, but you're not just going to label like all black men as just Pookies and Ray Ray and they ain't got nothing to choose from. No, bro, they just making bad choices. It's a Whole Foods not too far from every McDonald's. Who fault is it that we keep driving to McDonald's?
And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us.
I understand
we have not been on our job as black men.
Dr. Umar, I can give you 50%. I'm not letting black men take 100% of the blame, though. Men and women have to take equal blame in what society is for black culture right now, and we have to do better as both men and women to make it better. But men, we have to step up and father and mentor and brother and uncle and give male guidance better than what we're doing. We have to fight through all the barriers that they are to do better by our kids. But ladies, let me ask you this part of your 50%, can you stop being a barrier to us? Can you let us father? How we gonna father? Kids go with the women most of the time, right? Right? And any type of divorce or settlement or split, they always with the women. Even if the women are terrible mothers, right? And you as a father can't impart the wisdom that you want to impart because it has to go through the filter of the mother, if she approves or not. Look at Kanye and Kim. He wants to be a great father, but he can't really say anything that overrides Kim. Kayla Nicole, the YouTuber who let her kids go with her husband. Every woman was tripping in the comments because, I mean, she's a busy woman. She's out here making moves. She got stuff to do. Everyone was tripping that the kids even went to the husband because women have a control thing about the kids. They want to hate you for not being a father, but then when they want you to be a father, you have to father meticulously exactly like they want you to do it. And ladies, I understand that because that's your baby, but you got to remember that that's his baby too. And while y'all may do things differently, you're supposed to. You're a woman and he's a man. But you got to let each other do y'all thing.
If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a good father. You may be a good father. But guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father?
Listen, I hate to make this sound like it's going to sound, because I love Dr. Umar and what he does for the community, black community, the way he speaks and empowers us as a people. But he talking about what people are doing for the community. What are you doing for the community? What you're doing is a business. When you open your school, families are going to pay to put their kids in there. Everywhere you go to speak right now to empower people, you get paid to do it. But that is how we build strong communities. Being businessmen, being entrepreneurs, being hardworking men and women at good jobs instead of being scammers or dope boys or whatever, you know? So everybody trying to be good black businessmen or whatever in the community, when you build a strong community around that, then you have healthier communities. But you can't just put that at the feet of black men to just go and save the whole world like we Batman or Superman or something, bro. Come on now. And if you just must lay that at our feet, then we gonna lay it at yours. Show me the video of you across every ghetto in America mentoring all the gangbangers and the dope boys and the thugs across the, you know what I'm saying? Show me how it go. I haven't seen any videos of that yet. But when you do it, I want to know how they respond. Because I be seeing them out here. They don't respond well to mentorship all the time. I'm just gonna say that.
You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs
If
to
we
be
was
more
loving
selective.
our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
I got to agree with Dr. Umar on this. Like, our women have been through a lot due to us being displaced from the home, partially from the government, but partially at our own expense too. If we hadn't been dibbling and dabbling in certain things, they wouldn't have been able to throw away the key. But our women have become more strong to raise our kids and to handle certain things, to show them how to tie that we weren't able to do when we should have been there. And we got to thank them and love on them because of that. But I want to say this. If you ever seen an abused animal, and I'm not comparing y'all to animals, but if you ever seen like an abused dog that's terrified of humans because all that it's been through, it doesn't take the dog generations to reacclimate to humans. In that dog's lifetime, as long as it's around some people that are not abusing it and treating it good, then it comes around to love humans again. And I'm saying women have to allow themselves to love again and to be feminine again when you become around another man that is good for your soul, that is trying to do right by you.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
You're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good
Can I ask you a
quality
question?
men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
What?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie.
First, like I said before, there's Pookies and Ray Rays in every race. Stop trying to just acclaim that to black folk. Second, this sounds like every kid of every race. They've acclimated to the rappers, social media, and TV, and that's what's raising them. This isn't just black America. This is something that affects America as a whole.
If we never allow Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying
that.
that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right, that still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
There's reasons for that.
Now you can see Dr. Umar is in full pander mode right now. Like, he's not religious, but he's definitely taking on some preacher patterns right here, because, see, preachers are pander to the women because it's a church full of them and they don't want to lose the money, right? This is what he's doing here. Like, even if she disrespect me, I won't disrespect her because she's still the queen of the earth and all that. Man, if you don't cut it out somewhere. And furthermore, this not his track record. I heard video of him talking crazy about Ebony K. Williams lately, where you ain't calling her a queen. I'm just saying, she disrespected and you went right in after she did that. So why is you getting on this platform want to call the queen of the list? Some women don't deserve to be called queens, man. Not when they not operating like that. I ain't gonna call them what they should be called, but I ain't gonna necessarily call them a queen either if that ain't what they are presenting to be. But Dr. Umar is just fully pandering right now because the women are the ones that are showing up to his conferences and this, that, and the other. It's going to be the women also that have control of those black sons that are going to pay to put their sons into his school, so he know where his bread is buttered, and he's going to continue to pander to them in order to continue to let his bread be golden and brown and buttered as it can be.
You understand? Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources, okay, and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that. Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters. No, it's not. And if you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you have because we having a conversation
as men.
And I tell you, pandering at its finest. Now we got to be held responsible for our choices, but not them.
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too. All right, but as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. As men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow.
Yes, and I too am concerned with creating a black generation of men and women that will be better for us going forth. But listen, let me ask Dr. Umar this. What makes him think that he is the end-all be-all for black voices? Like, black men can't voice our opinion. We have to lodge a complaint with him, and then he'll go and check the black women for the things that they're doing that's out of pocket. Because he checks them often, right? Like, what makes you think that black men have to go through you to do this? There's plenty of black men that can think, speak, and do it intelligently for themselves. Like, we don't have to wait on you to check black women for something that we are having a problem with. You know what I'm saying? You've made a platform and a business out of doing it. I think other black men can do it as well.
So, did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So, how if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault? How are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make. Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda. Okay. It's an argument that says, I don't want the responsibility. I'm a leader. I don't want to fix right? I'm going to fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I work too hard in my life.
Back to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be.
Dr. Umar is playing stupid right now. He knows that what he's pushing in this interview is way more of a feminist agenda than anything these brothers have ever said or did. You understand what I'm saying? But he's going to keep pushing that narrative because it's going to pay him on the front end, middle end, and back end. And so he's not going to let up off of it. So it's just, I just didn't expect this coming from him as strongly as it's coming from him. And it's just surprised me. But hey, it is what it is. People go where the bread is buttered. Let me know what you think. It's your boy P. Camp.